This chef blues. He disliked me from the moment that he saw me. The first time he laid eyes on me in the kitchen, my first day on the job. I held up my hand and said, "Hello, I'm Otto Svensson. Pleased to meet you." I hoped my name would make him like me, that my being a Swedish compatriot would make some kind of impression on him. He sized me up from head to toe and shook his head. "Go make meatballs." His orangutan-sized paw pointed to a workstation in the dark corner in the back of the kitchen. I had signed myself away for 12 months of hell until the end of my internship. There was no escape. They paid for my visa and kept my passport locked in a safe. Every star the restaurant had earned corresponded to a level in Dante's Inferno. Our restaurant had three levels, each one more hellish than the first. At the center of it all stood a blonde beast with a voice that could shatter the Met Museum's entire collection of ancient Greek pottery. In fact, he reminded me of Alexander the Great, but without the alabaster face of a Hellenic demigod. Instead, he had the pock-marked mug of a Viking clan leader who just got back from a raid of pillage and destruction. His savageness shone through in a solid jawline and robust foreheads. He carried himself with a kind of dignity that relies only on brute strength. He always wore a regal blue chef's jacket with the name of the restaurant embroidered in gold thread and a silver name plaque stapled to his chest like the badge of a war hero. His preferred war tactic for expediting orders was to roar. He would open his great lion's mouth and let a hurricane pass through, leaving the rest of us like cracked leaves in its wake. We were his galley slaves. He was the centurion lashing the whip. The thought that graduating top 3 culinary school had brought me to serve them in this kitchen pounded in my brain day and night. I was now living the realist novels I once studied before giving up my PhD in English literature to follow my dream of one day working in a 3-star Swedish restaurant. On average, I made 1,464 meatballs per day. That equals 6 containers of 244 meatballs, or 183 orders. The paralyzing cramps in my hand were nothing compared to Chef's mental whippings. His lightning eyes would nail me to the floor as he would soak me in a thunderstorm of insults. He was Thor, I was a mouse, trapped in his kitchen. Pick up the pace, little girl. Want to go back to mommy? Are you retarded? No wonder you don't have a girlfriend. Faster! Burn your fat or you don't stand a chance in bed. Look down at your meatballs, not at me. Your stupid face makes me want to throw up. I might eat insult with a loud, "Yes, chef." With every affirmation, I sank deeper into the black hole. With every meatball, I went further into carpal tunnel. After the first month, I stopped having breakfast. I got no sleep, woke up from nightmares. He would run after me, screaming and roaring, waving a kitchen knife, saying he'd teach me how to hold a frying pan correctly, that he would make souffle out of my testicles. He called me the thorn in his heel on the road to celebrity chefdom and to having his own show. I gasped for air, bathed in sweat. At all times, I sensed the kitchen knife hanging above me like the sword of Damocles. One Friday, Chef walked into the kitchen without regalia. They were still at the cleaners. He was dressed in a regular white cook's pants and a fleece sweater, still wearing his glasses. He now looked like a person. A normal person who goes home to his wife and takes his son out to the movies. The knots of terror in my stomach started to relax. He growled and walked out of the kitchen. After a moment, Chef's booming voice cried, "Health inspection, health inspection," as he came running down the stairs wearing A hairnet? A hairnet! Like the decrepit lunch lady at high school, the one with flabs of skin hanging from her chin. A hairnet on this titan. His eyes met mine. I should have looked away. I should have ducked beneath my table. I should have run into the bathroom, done something, anything. But I was spellbound. The right corner of my mouth twisted upwards, slightly. I couldn't help it. I had lost control. Chef glared at me with flashing eyes. The left corner of my mouth twisted as well. It was a smile, a smirk. There was a giggle. It rang somewhere deep in my belly like a little bell fluttering upwards. Chef's eyes shot flaming arrows. With giant strides, he leaped toward me. His arms swung like a hammer. Before I knew what hit me, I was sprawling on the floor, my left jaw throbbing. Chef's head towered above me, like Muhammad Ali, who had just floored his opponent. Clean up your station, now! A grimace on his mouth, his eyes full of contempt behind his stupid dorky glasses, the hairnet pushing into his big primate skull. A burning heat coursed through my body. The serf, the slave, the vanquished, I rose to my feet. Something shimmered in the corner of my eye. I reached for it. The rage possessed me. I pounced on him with a terrible roar. A dark stain spread over his fleece shirt, a spurt of warm blood on my skin. He didn't move, but I could hear his voice. Can't cut a rump steak, little girl. I wanted to show him how well he had taught me. I planted the knife in his shoulder right on the spot, then in his ribs, cutting precisely down the middle. My hands were aching from the carpal tunnel, but the sweet burning pain felt like redemption for rolling 183,413 meatballs. I was pulled away from my blood-spattered workstation. Two men in grey suits, the health inspectors, came down the stairs as they restrained me in the corner. I caught a glimpse of their bewildered look before I passed out on the floor. I sank into a heavy slumber. Chef walked up to me and shook my hand, congratulating me on my filleting skills. We fell into each other's arms and wept like a son and his long-lost father. I felt the safety of his big, strong palms, and I saw so clearly that the ones you loathe, you often love the most.
Thank you, Simon. Woo! Now take your